No security questionnaire submitted by the Marshal of the Sejm, not specifically by Władimir Czarzasty, because this concerns the office, not a specific person, as explained by the presidential palace, as well as a loan for 185 billion zloty, a safe loan for armaments, and the possibility of Poland's participation in the Board of Peace. These are the three main topics discussed during the National Security Council meeting. The main topic, and also the reason for convening such a meeting, was the lack of information flow between the government and the presidential palace. What conclusions were reached? Today, I took a closer look at the situation. It is not personal likes and dislikes that guide the security and strategic interests of the Polish state. The raison d'etat is not simply guided by emotions. We should be aware of this. The raison d'etat is guided by the interests of state security. And that is why, due to the recent emergence of too much disturbing information concerning people holding the most important state functions, as well as the lack of necessary communication or alliances that are strategic for Poland, and even attempts to undermine them, and a simple lack of cooperation on issues that are most important for the raison d'etat, the President convened the National Security Council. Any information raising doubts about potential contacts with citizens of the Russian Federation or structures associated with the Russian state concerning persons holding the highest offices must be thoroughly investigated. But the Marshal of the Sejm is not only a political function, it is a constitutional function embedded in the continuity of the state, and everything that concerns it also concerns the state and its security. The Marshal of the Sejm is one heartbeat away from the presidency. If God decided to take the President of Poland from this world today, tomorrow the duties of the President would be performed by Marshal Władimir Czarzasty. Every member of Parliament has access to classified information by virtue of their office under Polish law. If they wish to obtain top-secret information, they must complete a special security questionnaire. That's what the President reminded us about. The government knows this. I filled out such a questionnaire. The verification took some time, and I gained access to top-secret information at both the NATO and national levels. But everyone here decides for themselves, and everyone must also decide whether they want to have this access. The fact that Władimir Czarzasty did not want to submit to such transparency, and what contacts with the Russians he wanted to hide, was discussed today, despite the government's reluctance. Matters concerning one politician or another should certainly not be the subject of deliberations by the National Security Council, but it was not about the Speaker of the Sejm himself. The Council discussed security and threats resulting from the lack of access to top-secret information, as confirmed by a security survey. These threats result solely from the law. No one has checked the Marshal of the Sejm for 27 years. It is not a question of the name, it is a question of the function performed, it is a question of the office. It does not matter what the Marshal's name is. It is about the facts and it is about the security of the Polish state. There are more problems. The government consistently refuses to provide the President with information and consultation on matters of utmost importance to the Polish state, such as the EU's safe loan for armaments. To put it mildly, relations with Poland's most important ally, the United States, are also being discredited. And although the head of the National Defense insists that it remains strong, yesterday I had a long conversation with the US ambassador, and I would like to assure you all of the strength of the Polish-American alliance. We care about this alliance, and I personally am doing everything I can to ensure that this alliance, in the areas of military defense, geopolitics and strategy, is maintained. A few hours later, Donald Tusk bombarded us with the news that he has refusing Poland's participation in the Board of Peace. In the current circumstances, when it comes to the principles, the status of this board, its immediate goals, mainly related to the reconstruction of Gaza, certain doubts of I would say, systemic nature regarding the shape of this board mean that, in these circumstances, Poland will not join the work of the Board of Peace. But we will continue to analyze the situation. The President is very concerned about the government's position. As President of the Republic of Poland, guardian of the state's security and representative of Poland in international relations, I consider it my duty to ensure that this issue is analysed thoroughly and seriously. On February the 19th, Poland is invited to the inaugural meeting of the Board of Peace. There are no recommendations, no factual analyses, no opinion, neither positive or negative. In my opinion, this is deeply irresponsible. Instead, there is blatant misinformation. It is not true that Poland has to pay $1 billion to join the Board of Peace. This is stated in the Board of Peace Charter itself. The President reminded the government of this today. National security cannot tolerate a decision-making vacuum in which key international issues remain unaddressed.